Welcome to the official Business and Lifestyle Legends podcast. Real life stories, exciting interviews, and a lot of knowledge to change your life. And here is your host of today's episode, Ben Schneider.
Welcome, guys, to this Business and Lifestyle Legends episode. So today my guest is Holger Götze from Germany. So I'm from Germany too, you guys know that. And he's also from Germany. He's the first failure coach in Germany. So this is quite awesome, and I'm very happy to have him here. Welcome, Holger.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Great. This will be an awesome talk in the next 30 minutes. So let us begin with your story. How did you came to be the first failure coach in Germany? Because of course, everybody of us is making some mistakes and having maybe a big failure list in its lives. But how did you came to be a failure coach?
This is the very important question. You have on the one hand side you have the word failure, which is in Germany has mostly a negative meaning, and on the other side you have the word coach, which means development, which means a search inside yourself, your strength, your power you have, and I think failure is a very powerful word. Failure is you have also say it. Failure is all day in your life. We all make failures. We make mistakes. If we want or not, we make them. And in the case you make the mistake and you make a failure, there is something happened in your mind, in your emotions. You're angry. You're not happy to making a failure. But this is the stadium where development increase, where you can change your mind, where something happened. And so I decided to be the first failure coach to that the people feel empowered, that they feel strange. Obviously they make a mistake, and mistake is not a bad thing. Mistake is the next step to success. You make a mistake, you make a failure, and you learn about it. And
Hopefully.
then you can, hopefully, yes. And then you go the next step. And I think that's what is making the word mistake, the word failure so powerful and so interesting, because many people, and you know it from the school. When we were at school, we were taught by a mistake is something bad, but it isn't. It is a opportunity to increase, to be strange, and to go forward to your way.
Because maybe in school, if you're making a mistake, that will decrease your points in the test. So maybe that's one of the reasons why mistakes are having a bad image. But definitely, I agree with you 100%. If you want to develop yourself, definitely you need to make mistakes. And nobody likes to doing mistakes. But if you do something, if you're taking action, if you're creating anything, if you try to serve something for anybody, and maybe this person will not like it, it's quite common that you're doing mistakes, and you develop yourself by that, what you said. So you started to be, or you decided to be the first failure coach in Germany.
Yes.
Let us take apart a little bit on this. How is your work with people? Are you going in the company and then I tell you my mistake of yesterday and you help me to develop, or taking something good out of it, or how is your work with the people?
Yes, there are many different situations. Normally, it's not about the real mistake they make. It's not important if it's a mistake I wrote something wrong, or it's a mistake I make a failure in a process or in a development. It goes. Um, the biggest thing is your mind. How your mind is in contact with a failure. When people came to me, and mostly it's when I go to the companies and the people say, "Oh, I'm afraid of doing mistakes. I've a really fear." Then you can't create any innovation when you have fear to make a mistake. That's not possible, because in innovation it's something new, and something new has um, when you go to a way you not you have never been before, then then you make a failure and you learn about it, and in the next step you are better, and then you make the next failure and you were better, and that's the way it goes. So um, I the most thing I do in the coaching is to strange their self confidence, to let them know it's okay to make mistakes, and it's also for important when I go to companies to talk to the leadership, because leading is something has very something to do with confidence to make a decision. Okay, maybe it's a mistake, but then you learn about it and the next is better. It's something similar with when you're playing soccer. You kick the ball over the goal. Hey, come on, next time I kick it right, and then I learn and I increase with every mistake I make. And this mindset, it's all about mindset, is important for the people. And when people say to me, maybe I've made a mistake and I've made such this and this and this, I don't go too much on the failure. I ask, how do you feel about it? What was the feeling when you do the mistake? The important point is, when you make a mistake and you are not afraid of doing it, then you learned about it. But when you make a mistake and you think, oh, yet I get punished for that, and I have to go to the boss, and then it's negative. And so,
Definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
so this is the combination of face-to-face coaching, workshops for the theme failure, leadership coaching, where the different leaders, we talk about that, because it has to be focused on both sides. The employee have to be brave, have to be powerful, and I make it, and not afraid of doing a failure. And on the other hand side, the leader has to be something like, it's okay, you the next time it goes, and not punish them for doing a mistake. And this is a combination, and I worked on both sides, on the leader, on the side on the employee. This is it's a whole system. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think the leadership stage is the most important part in that case, because for sure you can coach this employee who has done anything wrong, but basically I think the job you are doing with the employee is a job the company owner, the leader, the manager should do, not exactly you, because this guy is the one who needs to get his team confident, and tell them that they are good, telling them that it's okay to make mistakes, depending on the mistake, obviously. But it's like in my company, we have a little problem in the last weeks, and some of my guys did huge mistakes, and now and I was very angry, you can imagine. But the thing is, I'm not angry about the mistake. I'm angry about the not fixing mentality. So they try, but it's not working. They try again, it's not working, and then they start to giving up. You feel that as a leader. when they start to giving up. And that's what I'm angry about. Not about that failure, that the mistakes happen all the time, mistakes happen every day. But the giving up mentality, this loser mentality, this I can't do it, I'm not good enough. If you need someone for that, you have to replace me. This mentality is what makes me as a leader angry. Because one of my guidelines for myself is every time giving up is not an option. Since years I'm following this sentence. And in addition to this, I don't like it if my team is giving up on something. So I think in my perspective, the leadership stage is the most important for the mistakes or the failure in a company, because definitely it should be okay to make mistakes. It should be okay, and people shouldn't get punished because they are doing a mistake. But the leader has a task to make the team confident, to tell them how it is. And for myself, I always tell the truth. If something is not good, I tell you it's bullshit. It's not good. But on the other way around, if something is really good, I also tell you, hey, this is awesome, man. Great job. So, and I think this is what makes it quite special in the leadership stage. Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. It's all about how do I deal with a mistake. Nobody make a mistake and said, yes, fantastic, I make a mistake. And everybody has a responsibility for what he's doing. And I agree with your words. It's important that the people never give up. A mistake is not okay. I make a mistake. I'm not good enough. It's all how I deal with the mistake. I have the right way, in my opinion. The right way is I make a mistake. It's good that I have angry emotions. That's important, because I told then something happened in your mind. Something happened in your mindset. You have emotions. You are angry, but then you have to find the right key. Not to be angry and say, okay, I'm not good enough, I give up. Instead of saying, okay, I make a mistake. What can I do better next time? What are what is the failure about? Why is this happened? But not in a mindset of, oh my God, I got to be punished. There's too much pressure. You have to go in a I want to be better stadium. Like I love to work with metaphor with picture. When you have someone in sports, maybe basketball or soccer or whatever, and they make a mistake, then they want to do it better next time. And this is the mindset we all have to feel. And not to make, okay, it's not about I make a mistake and shit happens, or I don't care about. That's not to deal with mistakes. But to deal with mistakes means I make a mistake, I feel a little bad, I feel angry. What can I do to go better? Then I go the next step on the road of success. And on the next time, when the next failure is the same, I look what has happened, what is the learning, and so the next step. I think that work with success, and so you can increase. So an entrepreneur increase, so you increase success.
Definitely. I think that you mentioned the right steps. So if you're doing, or if you're having done a mistake, analyze the mistake, go deep inside, depending on the mistake for sure. But go deep inside. Why is that happen? Is my system not good? Have I just made a wrong decision? Sometimes that happens, but maybe the system is not good. How can I improve? That's the next stage. How can I improve that this will never ever happen in the future again? And I think for sure, some mistakes are just decisions which went wrong, but at the most of the mistakes, the education was the problem. So you did not have enough info. For example, if you do something on Photoshop, you cannot do it. You don't have the skill yet, so improve the skills. If you are making a bad decision on the stock market, you have not enough information about that company or about that market. If you're doing a mistake by, or if you're not able to sell something to your clients, maybe you have a bad product or not the ability to sell something. I think there are always reasons why something happens. So definitely it's okay to make mistakes, and everybody is doing mistakes every day. But for every failure, there is a reason. And you guys should analyze what was the reason for that and how can I improve for this next time, that this will never ever happen again. Because you can do mistakes, but you shouldn't do the same mistake twice. Then it begins
Yes.
to start with a problem.
That's a very important point. It's one of my in Germany. It's one of my favorite words. You can't do the same mistake twice. But also in this, there's a lot of magic in these sentences because I give you an example. I have a little girl. She's 4 years, but when she was 1 year, she tried to walk. She tried to stand up, tried to walk, and fall down. And then she tried to get up, walk, and fall down. And obviously, some people say, okay, it's the same mistake. You can't do a mistake twice. But we have to look on the mistake. This goes out for the leaders out there. We have to look, is it really the same mistake? Or is it the same mistake? It seems to be the same mistake, but it's a next step of development. And when you go as a leader to the employee and say, hey, you make the same mistake again. But it's not, it seems to be the same mistake. Yes, walk. But my little girl make the next step in walking. She make a development. You know what I mean? This is
Good point.
very important to look. And when you go to the employee and punish him for a second mistake, which is not the same mistake, then it's difficult to go for innovation. And so it's always in the most mistakes I've seen in the private life, in the business, from employee, from leadership, the problem is not the failure. The problem is the attitude to this failure. So someone make a mistake, okay, can happen. But then he starts to think, oh my God, always me. What should my boss say? What could happen? And then your potential and your productivity goes down. And maybe when you know it because you're a manager, you're a boss from a whole company, and then when the people come to you and you say, okay, it's a mistake who happen every day. Everything is fine. The most problem is the attitude to the mistakes, not the mistake you made. So the attitude and you feel about it. That's the most. In many cases it's the more problem than the mistake.
Yeah, agree with that. Is that something you have written in your book? I've seen you were writing a book right now and
Yes.
publishing that soon. So what is the title of that book?
The title of this book is I have questions and the life answers, and it's full with mistakes in my life. Mistakes I have. My mother is. If I was a young boy, my mother tries suicide, and she is very fall ill mentally, and my father is not really really does not really well with them, and had a problem with the alcoholic, and this book is really honest of things that happen in my life, and not the good things. Like when you look in the social media, when you look at Facebook, when you look at Instagram, we have always bring the well side of us, and the best smile, and we make a video and we are the best, and look at me, and I have a trained body and something like this, and the people uh, compare yourself to someone else, and this is also in my book. There is not It's not the happy side of life. It's the failure, it's the mistakes I make as a young boy, when I get yeah uh, I fall uh, I I fall as a victim to aggressive groups, because when I was a young boy I was alone and no one see me, and so I go wrong ways, wrong groups, aggressive groups, and instead of saying, okay, this is the dark side of my life, I take it to the side. This is the moment I want to tell my story about it, and how to get out of the mistakes, and what I learned from this, and to walk on. And every chapter I write, every chapter is I ask questions to the people in my book. I want to be in a interactive with the reader. And what's your story? Have you a similar story to mine, have you feel like like everyone has a suicide, or anyone else has a suicide, and where do you feel alone? And so it's a book where all is about mistakes, and mistakes in life. Something very easy mistakes, but very hard mistakes, very hard life knockdowns, and I want to show that all these mistakes, and all these memories, my mother, in the time, it was 1992 when she get when she tries a suicide, and that was the medicine was not enough like today, and there was a hard time to see a young boy, to see his mother in a closed room, and these memories I keep with me all my life. But it's important to write down that this is a part that belongs to my life, and it's a mistake. Not a mistake for me, but I learned a lot of this situation. I learned a lot, and I make many things wrong in the time when I was more alone. I have two older brothers, but they were outside. They have their own lives, and so I want to show the people what it means to make mistake, and how you can learn about the mistake, and that your life can also be very, very wonderful and successful, although you make a mistake. Because many mistakes I make today, I knew how to deal with it, and I can help other people. Every mistake has its meaning. Not in the moment. In the moment when you make a mistake, it's very hard. But when you look years later, and you look back and you say, okay, I've made this mistake, and now I make it on the other side. And this is important. Not a book how beautiful the world is. Yes, the world is beautiful, and we have to be positive about the world. But in this book, I want to show the people what it means to make a failure, and it's very, very important for me to be near by the people, by the readers. And not my name is Holger Götze, and I told about failure, but I have never made any failures. No, I show us it is a very honest book, and very, very, very emotional book. And so this is what the book is about.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that stories. So let me get back to one point of the book, because I think it's interesting for the people. You mentioned you were part of a gang or something like that.
Yes, it was a time where there was the right wing people, the right wing people, the yeah, we can say this is part of the in the early days we called them skinhead culture, something like that. And I was very very alone at home, and I was an easy victim for those people, and those people catch me, say, hey, and when you come with us, you have your place, you have your. I've never known something about that. I was really a guy who walked by, who has not his own mind, has not his own voice. I was really really young and a really really, yeah, really. It's difficult for me. I hope I can say it in English quite well. It's a really difficult part for me, because I'm in my heart. I'm a really culture man, a really friendly man, and I was friendly to everyone, and but I've lost so kind of home. And if you were young, you were looking, where am I home now? Where can I find people? It doesn't matter what kind of people, but I have to be with some. And then you go on, and I was many times on street and in the evenings and drink alcohol and something like that. And so I was an easy victim for those groups. And I've never do something violence or something like that, but I shout words. I was really a guy who was an easy victim, who walks by, and what the others say, I say it too. And I even don't know what I shouted in that time. I have no idea about history and about something. And then something happened. I get psychologically very ill. I it's quite a little bit like, there's something in me. The person that I've been outside has nothing compared with the person I'm inside, and that was very very difficult for me. And then I have quit this time. I go out of this and start to make a therapy and talk about the things, and work them out. And now I can talk about that, and it's my wish to help many people who are outside, because these risk, and these enemies, these right wing people, these aggressive people, they are still there. It's when you know in Germany the AfD or something like that, they're still there, and there are many young people, as I was as a young boy, who had I think yeah, who had not the strength to fight them back, who were alone on the street, alone with no friends, and so they grab you, and they notice you are not strong, you are an easy victim, and they catch you. And I have long I think about it to wrote is in this book, and I have talked to many people, but the most people say, hey, Holger, this is a very important point. This is a treasure for the people who are in this stadium now, for young people who maybe read your book and say, okay, maybe I can go another way, because I've read in the book of Holger when that's a bad mistake, and I'm happy to have my life now, but I will never forget the mistake that I make, and I will never forget how it feels. And this keep me alive today, to help other people in similar situation. I hope I hope I can tell it in the right way in English, but I hope you understand it, how I want to say it.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thanks for sharing the story, Holger. Because I think that this is maybe not the topic of the podcast by today, but this is an important topic for a lot of young people who has no friends, maybe no family, and just wanted to be loved like every one of us. And I think this is there are two possibilities if you have no friends and no family, if you're alone. So maybe there are some more, but one of the two is you go and start playing computer games and being on TeamSpeak all the time and playing 24 hours computer games and meeting people online, or you find friends, and maybe then it's the wrong friends if you're being with a gang, for example, because they tell you, hey, come with us, we love you, you will be an important part of the group, we will every time support you, and you don't know that feeling because nobody is supporting you ever. So this is a very, I think this happens sometimes, especially to young people, definitely. So guys, I think this was a very honest podcast episode today, but with awesome content. Thanks, Holger, for this. If you wanna follow this guy, the first failure coaching in Germany, I think the best way is to go on Instagram, type Götze Coaching, so it's GOE for the Ö. I think Ö is not existing internationally. So go on Götze Götze Coaching. I'm not sure how to say it in English. But I spelled it already. So, and follow this guy. He's a very awesome person, very successful but honest person, not showing only the bright side of life. But I think for sure on social media, most people are mostly showing the bright side of life, but on the other way, or on the other hand, people want to see this. People do not want to follow someone who is showing how today is a bad day and I'm in a bad mood and please don't look in my eyes. I don't like to talk to you. This is not what people want to see. So I think that's one of the main reasons why, especially in the social media, there is mostly shown the bright side of life. But that's it for this podcast episode right now. Holger, do you want to say something at the end to the listeners?
I'm very thankful that I have the chance today to talk with you in this podcast, and I wish you all the best to the new year, and I wish you all the best to deal positive with your mistakes and stay in good health. And I'm looking forward for you to contact me over my homepage or follow me on Instagram, and let's be interactive and talk about this thing. And then I'm looking forward to have a good year, the good next year without the pandemic. And so stay happy and stay in good health, and take care of yourself and your family. That's important. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Holger. It was a great episode today with a lot of value. If you guys like that podcast, you can rate it if you want it, but I'm just happy if you be there in the next episode with us. Have a good day, good night, or whenever you are listening to this podcast. All the best for you guys. Bye-bye.